Hello, good morning and welcome to a very special episode of WhiteDetails. This is the free detail on the 100,000 subscriber giveaway free detail competition winners car. It's a Monte Carlo Blue BMW M5. Before we get into it, there are a few companies that we need to be thanking for sponsoring this episode. First of all, Ultimate Finish, Modesta International, Lake Country Manufacturing, and then finally Suntec Films. Now that is a bit of a spoiler as what's to follow. But the car, basically, it is here for a two-stage polish, Modesta ceramic protection, wheels off work, an interior once over, fully documented, all being well, and then one or two surprises thrown into the mix. Surprises for both you, the audience, and Huey, the owner of the car.
How are you doing, Jim?
Detailing, very good. Huey, I'm recording the live draw. It's May the 2nd for the free detail competition, and I'm pleased to say that your F10 BMW in Monte Carlo Blue is the car.
You are having my eyes out.
You're having, I'm not, my friend.
Oh my god.
As you can see, the vehicle is clean already. It has been decontaminated, so all we need to do is go back in time to the wash process where we're going to whip the wheels off, flush the arches, get it clean, get it inside. There's been some polishing already, but all will be explained coming up in this episode of WhiteDetails. so we're inside and I'll update you more in greater detail later, but I have a time restraint this afternoon. As I alluded to at the start, the relationship with Suntec is part of one of the 4 sponsors for this free detail. The front end of the M5 is having Reaction, Suntec Reaction PPF paint protection film. The car, contamination wise, very clean, very little in the way of tar deposits and very little in the way of surface contaminants, be that on the lowest portions, the middle of the doors or the flat horizontal surfaces where typically stuff settles and bites and bonds onto the surface. The clay bar was pretty clean. With that said, going forward with PPF, I'm just going to give it a quick single stage polish, a polishing pad with a mild compound, just to, if anything, strip off any previous forms of protection so that the film has the best adhesion to the surface. And also the front bumper, it's in a bad way. But so paintwork wise, this does look like it's had a machine over it at some point once before. It's not going to be the greatest sort of turnaround. It's not going to be a massive before and after, because there are only minor marks here to begin with in the first place. Oh, there's a few more on the door. Okay, the door's a bit worse off. Front wing. But what we do know is the bumper has had some paint. What is that? That is some sort of weird paint defect. And what you're looking at there also are sender marks, clusters of sender marks that run all the way up the edge. PPF over sender marks is very forgiving. In fact, you can put film over 1500 grit, I think it is, sender marked, and once the film's down, that's invisible. So I'm going to hit the bumper, the bonnet, and the wings. The wings around here somewhere is overspray, patchy overspray from, there we go, look, the body shop. So ideally that wants to come off all the way down there. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, definitely wants to come off. And then the bonnet actually looks pretty good also. But again, I do only have a couple of hours this afternoon to get the polishing in. The idea being today's Saturday, tomorrow I'm buying a new car, hopefully tomorrow. That's a long story for another time. But the job doesn't start officially properly until Monday. However, Monday I'm being joined by a special guest, which you'll find out more. Good catch, as it happens. Another one of this week's sponsors, which we'll come on to more later. Orange polishing pads, courtesy of Lake Country Manufacturing. Hello, okay, right, welcome. So today I am joined by Rob from Suntec.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for coming down. Oh, it's good to see you again. So, okay, Orange Porsche episode, the last video to the channel a month ago now, I said that I was due to be booked on for PPF training. That has been completed, hopefully, I think I passed.
Yeah. I want to let you go if you haven't passed.
There we go. So, the relationship going forward now, I am going to be using Suntec PPF here at WhiteDetails. Rob and Suntec, as a corporation, as a company, have kindly offered to help this week with the competition on the car. Now, PPF, as good as it is and impressive as it is, some people perhaps may not want it on the car. I had to speak to the owner, Huey, and just get a few teasers from him to see if he was or wasn't interested. This is a surprise installation for him, but what I did get from him was enough for him to say, oh, fantastic, fabulous, let me know a price and we can sort of think about doing it. But I said, okay, well, let's leave it there, leave it with me, so he doesn't know this is being done. So Rob, we're using Reaction.
That's it.
Today.
So we use PPF Reaction today.
Okay.
This is a product we launched last July. It's called almost like a two-in-one product. So it has obviously the self-healing, the PPF properties, and protecting the vehicle paint from any kind of wash marring, small stone chips, scratches, etc. But this also has a ceramic-like coating on it as well. This particular product comes with a 12-year warranty. I think it's a doddle to install as well with the new adhesive that we got on there.
It is.
You've installed a few pieces yourself.
We did. So on the training,
course,
the training, what I will say, was very good. It was an in-depth insight. But if you were to visit a training academy for a week's detailing course, what you're able to learn in a week, Rome wasn't built overnight. So 3 days PPF training was great. The company, the business, the products, the people. But going forward, it's going to be a very steep learning curve for me not today, but for the rest of the next 12 months. Very excited for the road ahead and working alongside Suntec.
So we're also here to support. You know, there's 3 tech service guys in the UK now. We've got a team out in Germany as well, and we cover the EMEA region. So we have a good network of people out there that we can support.
And of course, there is the new software, Core. That's worth a shout, isn't it?
Yeah, Core. So we kind of launched Core earlier July, I think, time out there. So a lot of people have been having it. It's evolving continually. You'll see lots of new versions coming out of the bottom left-hand corner. There's a big red button that says it needs an update, Jim. So I don't know when the last time you watched, you turned yours on, but you might have a red button that says it needs an update. Make sure to do that. We have all the new patterns, the latest tips and tricks that are in there, and the latest software shortcuts as well.
So this is a bit different to the normal episode. What you've seen thus far is the safe watch decontamination. The vehicle's been inside. The front end, to be PPF sections have received a polish, not only to sort of help prep and enhance the underlying finish, but also to strip off any sealants or waxes that Huey has used previously, because that could interfere with the adhesion of the film. Certainly if it was a ceramic application down the line. And then the car's been outside again for the rinse, which you've seen, and we're here. So the templates have been nested into the software. The plotter, a new investment, a new purchase for myself, is through next door. We're going to probably jump through there now, probably keep this short and sweet, but get onto the installation, starting with...
do the bonnet first.
Start with the bonnet, and then put the kettle on, I think, actually. Good man, thank you, Rob.
I'll get some lunch after.
Right, plotter. So that's Rob finishing some of the nesting for the front install. We've got headlight bonnets, bumper, mirrors, B pillars on the side of the door, and the wings. All of the edges have been prepped. Inside the wheel arch edge, inside the bonnet, you've seen the trim has been removed to be able to get the film down, tucked and wrapped. And I think we're about ready to cut. Obviously those that know what you're looking at, you'll know this process, but this is the weeding process for those that are new to PPF. The plotter, very clever. The software, very clever. The patterns are on this sheet, but the sheet comes out as one. It's got a top coat, a bottom coat, and the excess material, which we don't need or don't want, has to be weeded, peeled away. So the idea here, you see, that is one of the kidney grills, and the glossy section around it is the PPF reaction film. That is a towing eye, that is a washer jet, that's it, that is a washer jet, which sits just on top there.
Doing a bulk install here with Jim. He's done the left hand side and I've done the right hand side. Working around here, putting some tension across the panel to get these front leading edges covered, rather than a pattern install may have some open edges right on the corners. What I do want to show you now is the actual behaviour of the film itself. With this having a 2-in-1 coating, if we spray distilled water or any kind of water, you will see on here.
Hang on.
You'll see on here all the beading effect from any kind of water. It all balls up, beads up and rolls off the panel quite nicely. If we pour the water on, it'll sheet off, drying the car with water.
It's like you've done that before, mate.
Maybe.
I've just squeegeed this floor.
I'll do it now.
Are we leaving the bonnet for the edges to dry out for a bit?
Leave it to dry out for a little bit, just because there's a little bit of soap around here. The reason I leave it to dry is so I can have a quick coffee and a break, if I'm honest, but then essentially we just want it easier to wrap around afterwards.
progress report. Wings and bonnet down. We've still got the front bumper, the mirrors and the gloss pillars B and the small 1-inch section back here to do, but stupid amounts of gloss. Very impressive. Yes, there are rock tips and there are imperfections in the paint that were there to begin with. Not a lot that can be done about that, but if the car was new, perfectly flat, defect, imperfection free. But a good rule of thumb is if a scratch may be visible underneath the film, typically it is too deep to have polished out anyway. So if you can get a nail into the scratch, it's going to be too deep to polish and it's probably going to show through the film. So bear that in mind. But here we have the remaining sections of the bumper, as I say, washer jets, towing eye. What are these little bits up here? I don't know. Wing mirror sections, B pillars. I think the wing mirrors may be bulked. Probably going to do a bulk install, so an experienced installer such as Rob, rather than using 2 or 3 sections of kit templated sections for the mirror, you can use one piece, stretch it, and it's seamless. So it's a much better visual job. So to get the bumper down in the morning, stood at the wheels to cleanse and decontaminate, and then it's back on with the polishing, working from the front wing back up over the roof, side skirts, light clusters, tailgate. There's a lot to get stuck into still. There are areas where the cars have some paint on the top of the driver's door here. The little squiddly pigtails are deep scores left behind from sanding. Sanding disc has been used. There is a blend mark up here on the roof rail. There's an amount of hazing on this edge, which again, sanding marks, dry edges. A couple of blend marks in the back bumper as well, which the owner actually knew about. So overall, with the front end protected, the rest of the car corrected, and then protected once again with, we should be looking pretty smart. Bring on the noise, the polishing.
Oh, headphones, mate, that's what you need.
Well, right then, Rob, are you able to quickly summarise, conclude, what have we done and where?
So this last day, really, I suppose what we've done is we have done the bumper, the headlights, we've done the bonnet and the bulk install to protect the leading corners as well.
Yeah.
We've done the wings, and then we've bulked the mirrors as well to get a slight bit more coverage and no joints over that.
Yes,
complete section.
the mirrors, bulking them was interesting to see, and more coverage, less joints, less seams.
Yeah.
B pillars have been done as well, gloss sections, which still needs revisiting, actually thinking about it. Heat sealing the edges, which is my job now for the afternoon. I'm going to pick up the polisher and start the back end correction. If anybody would like to learn more about Suntec or potentially show interest in doing the training course themselves, where would be the best place?
The best place is to ring Suntec headquarters in Harlow in Essex.
Okay.
We will be able to then book you in for the next training course. We typically run a course a month, but we can add more in if there is more demand.
Just moved headquarters as well.
We have, yes. We've got a brand new training facility now that is looking very impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing else really for us. We're all wrapped up. Excuse the pun.
Yeah.
Literally. Again, thank you for coming down. We've generated stuff. I'm excited to now be able to offer this on a gradual basis to WhiteDetails customers going forward. Front ends, track pack installations, B pillars, and the occasional full car coverage should it come through. Information for Suntec can be found in the video description down below and on screen. For now, back onto the polisher and then start some correction. Yeah, is that alright?
Absolutely.
I did thank you for coming down, didn't I, in that second attempt? Did we shake hands at the same
We
time?
did.
Good.
I'm sure you do this way too often, you know.
2 days in, I've realised we've not done a proper paint inspection yet around the car. We've just been focused pretty much on the front end and the film. But thank you again to Rob and Suntec for the opportunity to work with this competition winning car. I think it's a fantastic product. I am very excited to get it onto my own car, my new car, which will be featured in coming weeks. So that's something to look forward to. But moving on, the paintwork, what's original is hard. It's really quite a tough clear coat. The worst of the marks that I've seen thus far are up high on the roof. I can't reach that just yet because it'll be quite high on the ramp. But it's a two-stage correction, and this rear quarter compared to the door has, unfortunately, a 2 stages, 1 cut, 1 refine. That 1 cut, I want to get 70 or 80% of the surface defects away. And because of the clear coat hardness, that hasn't been the case. So this area, the whole rear quarter, the boot lid, and these lenses so far, that's all I've cut. I've got the doors, sill, bumper, roof, wing, door, sill, and that's it, because of the front end's covered. They are going to need multiple hits, I would say, to get to that 70 or 80% defect removal. Should be nice and easy to refine, however. Light clusters showing signs of overspray, some lacquer overspray smudges there, but as we go across onto the tailgate, not yet refined, but the cluster has at least been cut, as well as the surrounding boot lid here and up on top, and then this rear deck. I've not fully worked out yet what has and hasn't been painted. There's some rotary holograms here on the near side, door on the top. The side skirt, nice and washed out, hazy. Most of that is pretty light, that will come out quite nicely. It looked to me like this has had a number of clay bar sessions or clay mitt. That nature, that pattern of defect, the marring, from previous experience in years gone by, looks like it's clay bar induced. Whereas otherwise, actually on the door here, once all of the light marks are knocked back, there are some deeper bits in there which will remain. So I'll do what I can again to get to that 70 or 80% removal rate. But here's the first 50-50 for you. This is the near side front door, and the wing, which we're going on to, has PPF. Very nice. Moving around the front onto the driver's side, and the story continues. Same sort of defects here. However, I do feel that this door has been painted. if not most of the side. Sanding marks deep up against the edge of the doors, in and around the handle. We saw this a lot earlier. Blebs in the paint, coming down the rear quarter, the very bottom corner here. Texture, dry, painted. Same, oh yeah, definitely, same on the side skirt. Offside side skirt painted. Oh, what's this? There's a nice reaction there of some sort. B pillars are down, B and C, very smudgy, very messy, covered in slip solution. Will be sorted and tidied later. A lot of fingering marks around the petrophilic gap, abrasions. Oh, sander marks. Nice and tight on the edge of the door there. Lots of vertical scratches going up the rear quarter here. The formation of these marks follows a vertical path, so something looks like it's been brushed up against that, or brushed down that, or up that. See the vertical marks? And then we get to the rear bumper. I am going to be taking things a bit steady on the bumper. There are a number of blend marks. You can clearly see this has been involved in the body shop. There's some patchy areas, dodgy bits. And the owner, Huey, had spotted this blend mark himself, so around the toe eye here, do what we can to improve, if not remove, but certainly reduce. We're going to continue polishing for now, get a couple more panels done, and then we'll touch base a bit on Lake Country. Lake Country Manufacturing, one of the sponsors for this episode. Here I am using the blue HDO Lake Country heavy cut microfiber, so we shall load up and back on later. over then, inside the door handles, the cups. Which one did I do? I think it was the rear door. I've got 3 other door handles to do by hand, and then that is the cutting complete. Still got the wheels to clean, haven't even taken the wheels outside yet. But before we move on to the refining stage, now the cutting is complete, a little word about our second sponsor. One of the original plans this week was to actually host a guest appearance by Mr. Kelly Harris. Kelly, you may have seen one of my, or a couple of my videos late last year. Kelly is the Global Director of Training for Lake Country Manufacturing, machine polishing pads. I'm sure you've heard of them all by now. As it happened though, unfortunately, this week whilst the car is here, it is Automechanica, which is a auto show, a detailing show, auto show in Germany, and Kelly is attending. He is there on stand, on display, doing training and brand representation stuff. So unfortunately wasn't able to join this time round, but the M5, these are my go-to pads. The blue HDO microfiber cutting pads. Use them every single job, if I'm honest, unless certain things occur. Really soft paint, for example, but I'll come on to that. Microfiber cut pads, which have responded beautifully on the M5 because it is a hard clear coat. The severity of some of the scratches, especially high up on the roof, and the toughness of the clear coat. 2 or 3 sets were still needed with these, but they've done the job. Very little damage is left behind now in terms of polishing marks, so it's going to be easy to refine. However, one of the big announcements for Lake Country this week at Automechanica is the announcement that the orange light cut HDO microfiber cut pads are being remanufactured. I think they stopped for a while, but these are back in stock. It's the light cutting version of the blue, which I've used on the M5. I've had a few of these for some months. I have used them. They have been a saving grace, really. They have saved me on softer clear coat finishes when, yes, it needs a cut, but it's just a bit more refined, a bit more finesse, as opposed to going the whole hog with the aggressive nature of the blue. So we've got the larger pads, we've got the 3-inch pads, and then also a new addition is going to be the 2 and the 1-inch pads to go onto your nano polisher machines. So big news there from Lake Country. The orange pads I'm sure will be a big hit. Be sure to check them out. Definitely worth having a few of these in your armory if you do get stuck into big heavy paint corrections and you deal with typically softer paint finishes from time to time. The product range for Lake Country is huge. I'd be here forever if I took you through everything, and if I'm honest, I don't know everything. Kelly's the man for that. Be sure to check out the earlier videos where we talked in more depth about the product range at Kelly's site last year. But 2 of my other favourites outside of the cutting is the orange polishing pads. The orange polishing pads come into their own if you're doing refining on a car that you've left a few bits of micromorin behind up as holograms. You can do a single stage polish with the orange pad, or a new car prep on a VAG or a tougher clear coat. This is an orange HDO on top, 3-inch and the SDO on the bottom. And then likewise, 2 HDO black finishing pads, which is what I'm going to reach for now for the refining on the M5. There's very little, as I said, in the way of mechanical damage being left behind following my cutting. So either one of the 2 would be grand for this job. I'm opting for the black, the softer finish, the more glossy result at the end of the job, I'm sure. If I think about it, outside of the blue cutting pad, the microfiber cut pad for the correction, the blue cut pad, orange polishing, black finishing, on a weekly basis, there's not really many other pads that I do reach for, to be honest. It's a solid system, plenty of product support out there, mostly thanks to Kelly and his tutorial training videos online. So once again, thank you Lake Country for being a sponsor for this event, for allowing this to happen. For me, black pads going forward, refining the M5, time lapse starting now. Nearing the end of the detail now. I'm tickling the wheels, tackling them, ready for Modesta BC06. The interior has had a bit of a fettle as well. But before we get too deep into the coating side of things, I'm actually joined by 4 guests. This is Team Modesta. Modesta are across, they've been doing a European sort of visit, and I'm lucky to have them here today. An international squad, first of all, Ryan, all the way from Milton Keynes, the UK distributor. Left to right, Michael is the marketing director, Tomo is one of the scientists behind the operation, and then lastly, John. John is the North American partner. So guys, welcome to WhiteDetails. I know you've had a busy few days, a busy week or so. First of all, thank you for your support over the last 2.5 years now. It's been a good relationship. I'm very pleased with the product, and also thank you for kindly being here and sponsoring this event. It's been, hopefully it'll go down quite well. I'm looking forward to Huey's reaction a week on Saturday collection. But who is able to give a sort of brief summary, a 90-second introduction to why we love Modesta?
Real quick, Tomo started this company probably actually 20 years ago officially. Spent a lot of time in research and development, specifically developing a coating for the automotive finish. Most of the products in this industry aren't built that way. The biggest thing is we have him. Most companies can't produce something like that. So we have all the support we need on the chemical side, chemical engineering, and with that we've been able to keep it small, controlled, and not let it loose like some companies do, which gives us a little bit more of a personal feel between the actual company itself and the end user and the installers. So it's just made it a more special kind of feel of a company compared to what you typically see.
As I say, it's a great system. I've been using it for a couple of years now. I couldn't be happier. And the BM, it's prepped, it's had a 2-stage cut, it is primered. Primer is the screed, the base layer before coatings. Paint coating wise, it's going to be Modesta BC04, which eventually will be topped with M1 shot before the vehicle leaves and it's on the way on the road. As well as the paint, it's having BC06 for the rims and calipers, which you will see shortly. But I believe we had a bit of a surprise for Huey. John, this is pretty awesome, and John's hard work. And
so with what he's doing for the charity, we wanted to kind of do a nice presentation for him when he picked up with the Modesta maintenance. So it has about a year's supply worth of product in it to maintain it properly, with it etched into the actual wood on maintenance.
Oh wow.
It has all the maintenance on it and everything in it. So we just wanted to do a nice presentation for the fact of what good cause this is, so you can actually try one out now.
It's full of over a year's worth of maintenance products, both M2 Blast, the detailing, and then M4 Smoke, the conditioner for the coating. I shall leave this in the boot and get a final reaction from Huey, and we'll actually talk about the text on top here. So there you can see maintenance guidelines and instructions. So once again, thank you to Michael, to Ryan, to John, to Tomo, and Akihiro. Akihiro can't be here today, but fantastic product. Information for Modesta can be found in the video description down below. Don't often talk about Amazon finds very often, but this is my latest Amazon purchase. It's a blowgun, nothing exciting. However, the last unit I was using was bust, and it was bust for too long. I was just making do with the fact that it was sort of did the job still. However, the metal pin on the top was snapped, and it was a problem to use in the end, and it used to be a constant draw when it was connected. So every time you use it, I had to disconnect it so the compressor wasn't going all night. Found this little bad boy, and it's a quick connect. So this, with the green tape, is to identify this is my interior blowgun. Twist this, pull, get a new one, push, click. Interior, spearing bucket. I found myself all the time with the spearing bucket, as you can probably see. On the tip there, it's powdery, it's dusty, it's got all the dust from the compound, which when you do the interior and getting down the sides of the bolsters, you're just pushing smudgy, a bit silly really, dust goes everywhere. So simple, twist, pull, push, click. It's wonky, but love it. Very impressed. Actually, there's a link in the video description down below to these. And you've got an even longer one if you really want to get down the sides of the seats. I find this is fine. Or then two larger generic attachments, which if you're just looking for a blow over the panel, it's quite a large diameter. Standard 1/4 inch connection or 6.3 mil down the bottom. Very impressed. Seems pretty sturdy. Just rewinding to the Modesta guys visit. I know that was all a bit random, but it was all very short and sweet. I'm not one to do sort of host or conduct an interview, but they were sort of passing, dropping by. John had the one of one Modesta aftercare pack to leave behind. So just an opportunity to get them on camera and show them around the studio here. Last but not least then, the last of the 4 sponsors, and finally the ultimate finish. The Ultimate Finish on one of the UK's leading car care online stores, serving over 80 countries worldwide, with a next day delivery cut-off of 5 PM. So if it's 4:15, 4:30 in the afternoon and you think, bah, I need some towels, I need some glass cleaner or tyre dressing, whatever it may be, Ultimate Finish are your people. Free delivery over £50, and there is a discount code for the White Detail viewers, which is WD10, 10% discount using code WD10. There are a few exclusive brands and manufacturers to Ultimate Finish, one of which is, of course, Big Boy Blowers. The Big Boy Blow R Pro. You may have seen it in this episode, I don't know, 7 or 8 times. I couldn't be without it. Great bit of kit. But rewinding to the start of the year when this event was being planned, Ultimate Finish were backing it and supporting it from the word go. It was made into a charitable cause. We raised money, £4,000 for MacMillan Cancer Support. Back in 1999, the Ultimate Finish was founded by the late Mr. Jez Gilman. Sadly, Jez passed early 2020, so it was a lovely way to give something back, raise money for a great cause, and hopefully it's been a fun episode as well. And Huey, I'm sure, will be delighted and very, very grateful. The Ultimate Finish's information is on screen now, but information down below in the video description as well. So finally, thank you to all of the 4 sponsors, Suntec, Modesta, Lake Country and Ultimate Finish, for making this event happen. Allowing this event to happen, should I say. Right, finish the glass, cure the wheels, wipe the door shut, sort the grill. Huey, you are one lucky boy. What a car, what a job. What an opportunity. Sadly, the car's not being picked up for a week because next week I'm going to Tenerife. I've got a holiday. I'm joining a couple of friends for a 50th party, sea fishing in Tenerife. So there we go. Huey and his wife are actually away this week, not back till Tuesday, by which time I'm away. So collection is delayed until Saturday 24th, which is most frustrating because I'm itching to post the pictures and I don't want to until he's seen the car here in person. Thank you to everyone who contributed to the charitable cause and entered into the giveaway in the first place. I think there was 1,500 entries or thereabouts. This is the start of this year. Stay tuned over on Instagram for daily behind the scenes and updates, and to follow my progress with the PPF if that may be something that you're interested in receiving for your car. Be sure to make contact. If you would like to support the channel, there are multiple ways to do so. There is a tab down below which says thanks. You can become a patron, or you could buy me a coffee, all of which information down below as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing if you're not already to the channel. With all of that said, in the meantime, I'm gonna get the car covered up, put to one side, and then look forward to a week today when Huey and his wife will collect the car. Thanks again, bye for now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Seriously? That is amazing.
Sarah's impressed. She gave me a thumbs up.
I don't know why I'm nervous because it's my bloody car.
This is the best, probably the best 50 quid you've ever spent this.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Seriously? That is amazing. I don't even want to touch it, it's like...
There's a few surprises as well. Good surprises.
Oh, that is fantastic. Wow. Oh, I love it. Absolutely amazing. Oh my god. Oh wow, look at that.
There really shouldn't be any movement,
There is nothing. You could shave in that reflection. That is outstanding. I don't know how you managed to do it, but that is amazing.
Seems like a long time ago now, actually.
It does.
I'm trying to revisit where I've been, what's been done.
I can see. I know what's been done.
Yeah.
That is just. Woo. That is incredible. I mean, that is just a. I don't know. But that, honestly, that looks like it's just come out of a spray shop. That is fantastic.
Can you see anything different? Anything looks not so much out of place, but can you notice anything that is also, if you can't see it, it's a compliment to the job. So what I have ordered is the M badges for the wheels, but they haven't turned up yet. Well, they might have done right their way, so they should have the M badge, shouldn't they?
They've never been on it since I've had them. What am I looking for? Honestly,
That's amazing, isn't it?
it's very amazing. Absolutely stunning looking.
That looked like a new car.
It
It
looks
doesn't
better.
look like the same car.
It looks better than a new car. It looks really good. So, you've done something amazing to the car that I can't see. You'll have to tell me.
So you see on the corners of the wings, you feel that. The bonnet,
There's something there, yeah.
bonnet, bumpers, front wings,
Yeah.
B pillars, have all got PPF.
You were joking.
Front end PPF.
Seriously,
Yeah.
my car's got PPF all over
The
it.
whole front end on it. The whole bonnet is one piece. The wings, the bumper, headlights, the wing mirrors.
Oh my god, what possessed you? Well, I would never have known that that's on the car.
No.
Only you pointed that out to me. Really? If I could have taken this home and in 6 months' time still not known that there was any PPF on it. Honestly, that is, I'm just blown away by the standard of what you've done.
That's just amazing.
It's not just what I expected it to be, because like I said to you earlier, I know the standard of what you can do, what you can achieve, even with what you've got. It's not just that, it's gone way, way beyond what I thought. I don't want to drive it, I just want to look at it. I can't get over it. Honestly, I can't.
This, lift the lid. This is an exclusive one of one,
One of one.
courtesy of Modesta. So in there is a year's supply of Modesta maintenance. There's a few £100 there. So we'll talk it through.
Okay.
M2 blast and M4 smoke conditioner. We'll talk about the maintenance and how to go about using it. Turn that around on the back. That's been burnt in terms of the application and
That is amazing. This is from the guys at Modesta.
yeah.
Oh my god.
What a return on 50 quid, that's just...
Did you hear what he said when we walked in? He says this will probably be the best £50 you've ever spent in your life. Just as I come through the door.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Honestly, I don't know what to say because things like this don't happen to people like me or Sarah. You know, this is. I just feel like I don't deserve this. It's not my car.
Don't be silly, of course you do.
It's been a good charitable cause as well. It's £4 to MacMillan.
That's it.
Mine's gonna be this one. Do you need me to hold this for the camera work?
Yes, please. We'll do a weird thing with that. Okay, just do a half press. That's it. Thank you. Right. Okay. Take a view.
But can I get one with just you and myself in the car? But Sarah says she'll take a picture
Yeah.
for, if you don't mind, for the Instagram. Just wouldn't think there's this much work goes into making a wee video.
Oh, it's great. I know.
Oh, yeah, we're still recording on the go. 1 hour 15. Whoops.